MLK Day coming up, a lot of families are looking for ways to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Well, there's an exhibit at the Tampa History Museum that you'll want to check out.
Fred Hearns is here to tell us more about Travails and Triumphs. Welcome, good to have you here.
Well, thank you for inviting us. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so if somebody were to visit this exhibit, what is it that you want them to learn or to take away from that?
The Travails and Triumphs exhibit at the Tampa Bay History Center actually gives you a snapshot of life in Tampa Bay for Black people going all the way back to 1528 and bringing us up to about 50 years ago when desegregation was widespread in the Tampa Bay area, primarily when the schools desegregated, and that was 1971. So we've got, you know, a lot of history, visual. There are displays where you push a button and you'll hear the voices of people who helped to make Black history in Tampa. And Black history is American history, so it's all very important and done in a very tasteful manner, and I know people will enjoy visiting Travails and Triumphs at the Tampa Bay History Center.
Now, this exhibit is going on right now. It's not just for Martin Luther King Day, but we can go see it on that day because the museum is open. Is that a good way to spend
Absolutely. We're open at the Tampa Bay History Center from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we will be open on Martin Luther King Day. I know a lot of people like to go to the parade and some of the other festivities. But again, we're open from 10 to 5, and we welcome folk to come and see what we've got. I think you'll enjoy it, and it's for the whole family.
The whole family. Yeah.
If you had to pick a story or a theme in that exhibit that would be relevant to today, do you have one that you'd share?
Absolutely. Recently, there was a play that was performed downtown and a documentary called Triumphs. And it's about the desegregation of lunch counters in Tampa in February of 1960. And we actually have from the F.W. Woolworth department store where the sit-ins began, we actually have a pot and a pan from the F.W. Woolworth on display. And that's how we tell stories in museums. We have artifacts, we have items of interest, and along with them come the stories of what they represent and how they changed Tampa.
I think so many people think that they know the history so well. Is there something in this exhibit that might surprise them when they walk through?
I think so. I think most people are shocked to learn that we actually have on record the presence of Black people, Africans, in Tampa Bay back to 1528. They came with the Spanish explorers, and while we didn't have folks settling here that we know of at least, but we do have documented their presence. And of course, through the years leading up to the current time, we had Black Seminoles who lived all over the state of Florida, including here in Tampa Bay. So we do have some of those stories that I think most people may not know a lot about.
Yeah, and coming up in February, you have some events that you want people to participate in as well.
Absolutely. Our 5th annual Black History Month reception is going to be Friday, February 27th at Tampa's Black History Museum. Now, we're actually talking about 2 different buildings. The Tampa Bay History Center is at 801 Water Street down in Channelside, right next to Benchmark International, the old Amalie Arena.
Yeah.
And in a year and a half, we're going to be opening Tampa's first Black History Museum, a separate building in a historic church over 100 years old. And that's going to be at 1213 Central Avenue in the central part of the city. We've actually been doing programming there for the last 2 years, and we'll continue for another year until the Black History Museum opens.
Well, going back to the exhibit, what do you want people to leave feeling after they visit that exhibit?
I want people to be inspired, to actually want to know more. You know, this is just a brief peek into the history of African Americans in Tampa. But I think it's a good introduction for students, for adults who may not know much about Tampa's Black history, and even folk who grew up here, who know some of the history because they've lived it, they know their life histories. But again, we go back hundreds of years, and some of the oldest artifacts that we have help to tell you what life was about. Restricted covenants, for example. We have an example of a restricted covenant where Blacks could only live in certain sections of Tampa, and this was true throughout the South. we actually have those documents that people can look at. And I think that might want to stimulate some folk to do some independent study and learn even more about it.
Absolutely. If people want to visit, how can they find you? What's the website?
Okay, we're at tampabayhistorycenter.org. It has a list. If you go to our website, you'll see all of the upcoming events and activities. Again, we're open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we certainly want folk to go to our website and come visit us.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for the